Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tennessee ACRAO Virtual College Fair. We've got an exciting session today. Before we begin, a couple housekeeping items. Note that if you have questions, you can use the Q&A button to type your question to the presenter at any time. Also note that your camera and microphone are off. Our panelists can't see or hear you. Be advised as well, we have additional sessions on the StriveScan website. So if you have interest in any other institutions, go ahead and sign up at your convenience. Lastly, note that we are recording the session and it will be posted on the StriveScan website at strivescan.com/Tennessee. With those items complete, we'll turn it over to our first presenter from Missouri Southern State University.
Good evening, everyone. I hope your week is off to a great start. My name is Ashlyn Bradley, and I'm a regional admissions counselor here at Missouri Southern. We are located in Joplin, Missouri. It's in the southwest region of Missouri. So a little bit about student life on our campus. We have about 25 or 30 students in the average class size. We like to keep our class sizes small, so you have a more personal interaction with your professors and your peers, and it gives you an opportunity to have more hands-on learning. There is a little under 6,000 students currently enrolled from 48 countries and 42 different states. We do have international or intramural sports and Greek life. We do have over 70 student organizations and clubs and 15 Division II NCAA teams. The great thing about our campus is you get to go to all of our sporting events for free as a student. You also get to utilize our May Student Life Center that has video game consoles, a pool table, a foosball table, and a common area to meet other students and just hang out. Our Career Services Office is a great opportunity for students who are applying to grad school or applying to a job. And you have access to this while you are a student and after you graduate from Missouri Southern. They can help you with your resume and they can do mock interviews with you. We do have an international mission here at Missouri Southern. So if you're interested in studying abroad, we do have scholarship opportunities for you as a transfer student. Something else that's really great about Missouri Southern is that we offer in-state tuition to all of the states that are touching Missouri. That's including Tennessee. So you get our in-state tuition rate. Here's a breakdown of the cost to live on campus. Our students are not required to live on campus as transfer students. Although we would love to have you on our campus, we understand that you may have a family that you're bringing along with you if you make that transition, or if you're taking classes online. We are an extremely affordable tuition rate at our school. So here is a breakdown of 30 credit hours, which is 15 in the fall and 15 in the spring. And it is a little bit under $7,500. The only thing that's not included in this are your textbooks, any late fees, or special course costs. So you have access to all of our on-campus facilities, including our gym, Student Life Center, library. All of that's already included in your tuition. We do offer transfer scholarships. If you are part of Phi Theta Kappa, we do have a scholarship for you if you meet these qualifications. We also have a Board of Governors scholarship if you have at least 42 credit hours. And then we have a university academic scholarship for those who are transferring 24 or more credit hours. Most of these range from about $1,000 to $1,500 a semester. They are renewable for 6 semesters. A couple of these can be combined, but not all of them. It's a great opportunity to get some additional money to come to school. We also offer competitive scholarships, such as departmental scholarships and foundation scholarships that range from $400 to $6,000. The application opens each year in December for the year prior to your starting year. So this December, you could fill out this application that takes 5 to 10 minutes for over 300 scholarship opportunities. So you can have them for the fall and spring of 2022-2023. We also offer athletic scholarships if you are interested in playing for one of our NCAA Division II teams. We have over 140 majors to choose from. So there's 64 or more certificate programs, 7 associate's degrees, 106 bachelor's degrees, and 7 or more master's degrees. One of the great opportunities with our school is you do have the opportunity to complete some of these bachelor's degrees completely online, and most of our master's degrees are offered completely online. Tuition is a little bit different for online classes, but it only varies by about $20 extra a credit hour. I'm not going to go through all of our many majors, but some of our top ones are biology, business, criminal justice, education, and health sciences. If you're interested in learning more about what majors we offer, feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to share with you all the opportunities we do have. So applying is super simple. You go online to our website at mssu.edu, pay the application fee or submit a fee waiver, and send over all of your transcripts from the schools you have previously attended. We only require a 2.0 GPA and that you leave your previous institutions in good standing. We are still allowing visitors on campus, and we will be hosting some in-person events over the summer on Saturdays. So if you do want to come to our campus and see what we're all about, we are happy to share that information with you. Here's my contact information, and you're free to scan this QR code here. My name is Ashlyn Bradley. I'm the Regional Admissions Counselor here, and thank you so much for your time, and have a good evening, guys.
Thank you. We're on to our next presenter from Missouri University of Science and Technology.
All right, good evening. My name is Carrie DeGraffenreid, and I'm an assistant director at Missouri S&T. I work with the Visit Center and with transfer recruitment. Where is Missouri S&T located? Here's a slide to give you an idea of where we are, where we can be found. We're right in between St. Louis and Springfield on I-44, right in the middle of the Ozark Highlands. We are very proud of how we rank in many different categories. Number one public engineering university in the nation by payscale.com. Number one University of Missouri for alumni salary potential. We're in really great company with these rankings. And another really cool ranking is from the National Campus Safety Summit, where we were named 20th safest campus in the nation. So, in the fall 2020 semester, Missouri S&T had over 7,600 students from across the United States and around the world. Out of that 7,600, there were about 61 undergraduate students and 1,500 graduate students. We have a student to faculty ratio of 18:1, and the average class size is around 30 students. Total, Missouri S&T offers 99 different degree programs and 40 different areas of study. So here you can view a listing of all of the degrees offered in our College of Arts, Science, and Business. You'll see sciences like biology, chemistry, and physics, humanities, liberal arts, an AACSB accredited business program, teacher certification, and some pre-professional type programs as well. We are perhaps best known for our engineering degrees. So we offer 15 different types of engineering, including some of the bigger degrees like mechanical, civil engineering, also some of the smaller ones like nuclear engineering, and we also offer engineering management, which is a really great degree as well. Also on this screen, you will see listed computer science and geology and geophysics. So those are the two non-engineering degrees that are also found in this college. Outside of the classroom, there are all sorts of great things to do at Missouri S&T. There's over 250 different clubs and organizations, 19 different design teams that give you the opportunity to work with other students, build projects, enter competitions. We are an NCAA Division II school competing in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. And we also have very active Greek life on campus. About 23% of students will participate in Greek life. And then we also have really awesome performing arts opportunities for students. At graduation, our students are very well recruited. We had over 4,000 different employees recruit our students last year. We have 2 really big career fairs each year, and you can see our average starting salary for our most recent graduates was over $67,000. Many of our students will also participate in co-ops or internships while they're an undergraduate student. And the average monthly salary for those recently has been over $3,300 a month. If you're interested in Missouri S&T, we would encourage you to submit the application. It's a free application. You can upload your unofficial transcripts or send them to us. And we do rolling admissions where you'll typically know something within 2 weeks. We are still accepting applications for fall, so we hope you will submit an application if you'd like to learn more or get started on the process. And both the admission and scholarship decisions can be made on those unofficial transcripts. And then for anyone that's considering a future transfer in a year or two down the road, or even more, we have partner guides with over 50 different institutions that will help map out curriculum to take at those schools to transfer towards a degree at Missouri S&T. So I mentioned scholarship decisions can be made on unofficial transcripts. We have merit-based scholarships that are based on a transfer GPA that require 24 credit hours. So there's a scale there that gives you an idea of the different amounts based on your GPA. These scholarships would be good for 2 years or 4 semesters with a 3.0 cumulative GPA to renew. We have some additional scholarships for transfers, Partners in Excellence, if you're transferring from one of those partner schools I mentioned. Phi Theta Kappa scholarship that's automatic for members of Phi Theta Kappa as long as you apply by the deadline. And then there's also Honors Academy and Border County Awards, excuse me. Many of these scholarships do have a May 1 deadline. So for anyone interested for this fall, I would encourage you to get started on this process. And for the spring semester, the deadline are more like November and December, so you have some time. And then we have a database for all students, both prospective and current students, to apply for different scholarships. It's scholarships.mst.edu. You fill out a general application after you're admitted on that scholarship database, and you can be automatically applied for all sorts of random scholarships. It's really great. Department scholarships, external scholarships. There's a lot of different opportunities there. We would encourage you to visit. We are offering on-campus visits. We are offering virtual visits. We're trying to provide as many options as possible for students to connect with us. And then our transfer team is here to help. When I talked about transfer admissions, I didn't really hit on our requirements because we don't have a lot of time, but in general, you have to have a 2.0 and 24 credit hours to be admitted to Missouri S&T. Some of our degrees do require a 2.5 GPA, but we are happy to work with you. So contact our main office and ask to speak to a transfer counselor, and we can help you through any of your questions or information you would like to hear. Thank you very much.
Gary, thanks so much. We're on to our next presenter from the University of Arkansas.
All right. You can see my screen now. Okay. All right. I'm Olga Murcia from the University of Arkansas. Thank you for having me. I'm going to talk to you about our university. I am a transfer counselor. We are nationally competitive, student-centered research university. If you're not familiar where the University of Arkansas is located, we're in Northwest Arkansas, which is the top 5 best places to live according to U.S. News and World Report. A lot of our information can be found at transfer.uark.edu. I'm going to talk to you about some tools as well that you can use. But as students transferring from Tennessee, this area is really great. We have a National Art Museum called Crystal Bridges, farmers markets on Saturdays, Razorback Greenway for cyclists, and for my students that are foodies and love to be outdoors, the Buffalo National River is a great just entertainment on the weekends that you can just go kayaking, canoeing, and all of that. So a lot of great fun that you can have in this area. For the University of Arkansas, we have 400 plus student organizations. So we also have Greek lettered organizations.
Olga, I can't see your screen, so maybe you want to just give the screen share a try one more time.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay.
Looking great now.
Okay. Sorry about that. We do have a student population of around 27,562 students as of fall of 2020. We have also some opportunities for traditions that you'll really enjoy. One of those being senior walks. So if you graduate from the University of Arkansas, you will have your name etched on the sidewalks. So you're literally leaving your mark on this campus. We also have the Calling of the Hogs, which is really fun tradition that we have, as our mascot is the Razorbacks. So we are the home of the Razorbacks. We are part of the SEC. And we also have some of the best study abroad assistance, financial assistance. So if you would like to study abroad, you sure can do that. For our admission requirements for transfer students, we have two different opportunities for you to apply: for the spring, for the summer, well, also for the fall. Our student classifications are, if you have a 24 or more transferable credit hours, we're looking at your college GPA. We do require official college transcripts from all schools that you've attended. For transfer freshman students who have less than 24 transferable credit hours, you do also have to present high school and test scores. And for our international students, you do have to refer to the International Admissions Office, as I personally assist domestic students. You can see here, these are recommended timelines, but just making sure if you're applying for spring to apply in August, early August, summer and fall students applying in early January. We also have transfer student scholarships. So these are some harder deadlines. And so for students that are wanting to start in the summer and the fall, applying by April 1st. For students starting in the spring, October 15th will be those deadlines. You can see here the required material for the scholarship application. And here at the very bottom, you can see some listed scholarships. So they can range from $2,000 to $2,500 for the students that are submitting a scholarship application, but you will be reviewed automatically for the New Arkansas Non-Resident Tuition Award, which bridges the gap between in-state and out-of-state tuition, and that's a value of around $14,800. These are additional scholarship opportunities, so depending on when you're applying, you will be applying to these either as a current student or as an incoming student. And those deadlines open up January 1st to February 15th. This is a separate application from the one that I was just referring to. And you can also see an average estimate here for tuition and fees. This is as of fall 2020. This is for a student that has received the New Arkansas Non-Resident Tuition Award. So you can see that tuition is comparable for universities that are within the state of Tennessee. These are some tools that you can also utilize in planning the transfer process. So our course equivalency guide and our transfer planning guide. So both of these will let you see how your credits will be transferable. The transfer planning guide will allow you to see how it's applicable to the interested degree plan. And then after admission, you'll get access to the transfer credit report and a few other tools, such as the degree audit and the what if, which is if you're wanting to change majors, you can utilize that. Next steps for admitted students, we do have designated transfer student communities. Now, if you're a transfer freshman student not living within the 70-minute radius, which should apply to students that have coming from Tennessee and under 21, you would be required to live on campus, or you may be required to live on campus. And you can see here the average cost for room and board. Now, advising and class registration can really vary depending on if you're a transfer freshman or a new transfer student, as new transfer students really move on to that next step as advising. But orientation is not required for new transfer students. It is for transfer freshmen, as that's where you're going to get advised. So we are holding on-campus visits as well. You can also do a virtual if you'd like, but here's my contact information. If you have any additional questions, I am certainly happy to assist with the process. And thank you.
Thank you so much. We're on to our next presenter from Paul Quinn College.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Give me just a moment while I get my screen share started. All right, welcome to our virtual presentation about Paul Quinn College. My name is Taylor Henley, and I am an enrollment management officer as well as an alumna of Paul Quinn College. So as I speak about the college, if it seems that I am gushing a bit, it is because this is my alma mater, and this is the college that meant so much to me as an actual student, and also means so much to me even now as an administrator, because this is the college that I graduated from. I was also a transfer student when I came into Paul Quinn, and I transferred in almost 60 credits whenever I started. So definitely can help with any questions that may be transfer specific, because this was my route some years ago whenever I became a Paul Quinn student myself. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So just a little bit of history about us and who we are as an institution, excuse me. We are the oldest HBCU or historically Black college or university in Texas. In 1872, we were actually founded by the AME Church as the Connectional School for the Education of the Negro Youth in Austin, Texas. And it was actually created in order to actually educate former slaves, excuse me, and their offsprings. Now, at the beginning of our existence, honestly, we were more focused on providing vocational training to our student body, just because at the end of the day, we wanted them to have certain skills that, of course, they wouldn't know how to do other than just being sharecroppers. And so we had a few liberal arts courses, but vocational training was where we were more focused. Of course, now we are not focused on vocational training, but we have stayed true to those liberal arts roots. Now, for the pictures that are actually on the screen, that top picture is actually our Paul Quinn College campus that was located in Waco, Texas. So in 1872, when the college was actually founded, we were in Austin, and then we moved to Waco in 1877, which is where we stayed until 1990, when we moved to our current campus that is actually located in Dallas, Texas, within city limits with the city zip code. And literally from some points of our campus, you can actually see the downtown skyline. So we are literally in Dallas, and we're not just on one of the outskirts. We're in the city, and we're located, and everything is there. Now, who we are as an institution, under the leadership of President Michael J. Thoreau, we've become one of the nation's most innovative small colleges in America. Because we are small, most people don't think that we can have the pack behind the punch. And although we are private, faith-based, and liberal arts focused, we do have a little bit different of an actual view on how we do education. We believe in reality-based education. And so in 2015, we actually adopted a new financial structure, which is what we call the urban college model, which basically means that our students are getting a chance to, one, not only have reduced tuition, which is helping them actually graduate with less than $10,000 in debt when the national median is $25,000 in student debt, but we're also having them graduate with an actual work resume. So during the time that a student is with us, they're typically having subject matter mastery, which is going to be their actual education and actually the degree plan that they're having, but they're also going to have experiential mastery, which is through a job that is typically applicable to that actual students, their major and whatnot. So let's say for a student that is a business administration with one of the concentrations that we have, they can be anywhere from one of our banking institutions that is a part of our corporate partnerships, or it can be one of our nonprofit organizations if that student is a fundraising and philanthropy focus. So at the end of the day, we're really helping students to not only graduate with their degree, but also to graduate with an actual work resume, because unfortunately we know that typically companies ask for you to be a brand new employee or have an actual transcript or degree from an actual college, but then they also want you to have 3 to 5 years of experience that's related to that major. Well, when you come to Paul Quinn College, that is something that you actually do in fact have because of our work college model that we do have. As far as our actual academic programs, we have our business administration with concentrations on accounting, entrepreneurship, fundraising, and philanthropy and management, which is actually the degree that I hold from the college. We have our health and wellness with an option to actually have that teacher certification if you were looking to actually become a coach or go into a school system. We also have our legal studies and criminology for those students who are looking to actually go to law school after graduating with their bachelor's. We have our religious studies, and then we have liberal arts with concentrations on communications, general studies, history, political science, psychology, mathematics, and then a pathway to teacher certification with the early childhood through 6th grade focus. As far as the actual requirements for transfer students, we do look for a 2.75 GPA on a 4.0 scale. If that is a GPA that you do not have, we definitely can have conversations about that, because we believe in holistic reviewing our students. And we want to always make sure that we're getting a chance to meet those students, as well as seeing what that story behind that number is. Now, for all of the transcripts that you might have, we would in fact need every single copy and be in good standing with each of those institutions, as well as having a letter of recommendation and a resume due to the work college portion of the college, and then an interview with an EM staff member. Other than that, if there are any other questions for me, you can always reach out to us directly at the college via email, phone, fax, or address. If anything else is needed from us, please do not hesitate to ask, because we can definitely get those taken care of. And I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen and also place my information in the chat. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. In the time we have left, we're going to work through a couple questions. We'll ask each of our presenters to offer their perspective on the topic. The first question we'll pose to the group is, what advice would you give someone going through the transfer process? We'll start off at the top with Missouri Southern.
My advice for students who are entering the transfer process is going ahead and connecting with an admissions counselor at the school that you're interested in attending. If you reach out to us and ask us for information, we're here to help you. So any question is welcome. We just want you to find a place that fits your needs and wants.
Thank you.
I think I would recommend just visiting campus and looking for ways to connect with either current students or faculty members or the academic departments. So I know getting to campus, especially right now with COVID, can be a little more challenging. So if you're not able to get to campus, look for other ways, whether it's through virtual offerings or calls or emails.
Thank you. Olga?
Yeah, I would recommend for students to certainly with both ladies what they said, but if there's a certain specific program that you're looking into, make sure that you understand those prerequisites, because some programs have a separate application and have certain prerequisites that you need to satisfy before applying. So I would definitely recommend, again, to talk about your interest early on in your end goal.
Thank you. Taylor?
I would definitely say that one of those big things is making sure that you're ready to actually transfer into an institution. A lot of times we find that students will think that they're ready and they're, in a good financial standing with institutions. And then whenever it comes to actually sending out those transcripts to an institution, we receive the messaging stating that you are not in good financial standing. So I would definitely say checking to make sure that happens before, or making sure that you're good with that institution's business office before, so that we're not receiving messaging that, yes, there is a transcript, but we can't unfortunately send it to you because that student, has a balance or there's some type of business hold on that account. And as Ashlyn stated also, use us as resources. We're here to answer questions. We're here to be here for you. And we can sometimes even speak from our own experience. I know for me, like I said, I was a transfer student myself. So I know exactly what you're going through and what exactly you need. But we're really at these institutions to be a resource to you. So don't ever feel for a second think that any question is not a smart question, because I don't believe in saying the DUMB word. But all questions are questions that should be asked and can be answered, especially when it comes to admissions.
Thank you. We'll go on to our second question. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? Beginning at the top again.
I would have to say my favorite event or tradition on campus would be our picnic. So each spring, COVID permitting, we do our spring picnic where students can come to campus and get a free meal. They can also grab free swag items, listen to live music. There's also quite a few vendors who bring in items like a Stuff the Rory. thing where it's like a Build-A-Bear, but you could just stuff a lion. We are the lions, and our mascot's named Rory. So you get to create your own little Rory, but you also get all kinds of free swag items. CoverGirl came one year with some free mascara for anyone who wanted it. So it's just cool little swag items and free stuff and free food. So who doesn't love all that?
At Missouri S&T, I'd have to go with St. Pat's. So years ago, Missouri S&T dubbed St. Pat the patron saint of engineering. So we have almost like a second spring break. It's a 4-day weekend in March to celebrate St. Pat's, but it's really weeks long of different events on campus. There's Greek life celebrations. There's a parade. They paint the street screen. There's all sorts of different activities, and it's just a really good time on campus. And then, you know, many alumni will come back, so it's almost like a second homecoming for us as well.
For the University of Arkansas, one of my favorite traditions, as I mentioned in my presentation, the calling of the hogs. It's definitely unique. It's fun. We do it everywhere around town on campus. And one of my favorite events are the concert series. My first concert as a student was TI, and that was amazing. So you really do get to network and enjoy and have a lot of fun.
I think for me personally, the best tradition at Paul Quinn College would definitely be our Heritage Bell ceremonies. So when you are actually at your first chapel or first convocation, you're actually coming into the campus, of course, as a freshman or as a transfer student in some situations. And you actually start off by walking past the bell and touching the Heritage Bell on campus. When you graduate, you then walk past the Heritage Bell, you touch it one last time going out, and you then walk to the graduation area. And it's one of those things that honestly, when you're first coming in, you're like, oh, this doesn't really mean anything. Like, this doesn't seem like a really big deal. But as I'm about to tear up, this is ridiculous. But at literally going out, it's one of those things that like, you kind of have that moment where you're touching the bell and you just think of everything that you've done over that time period, you know, that you were at Paul Quinn and you were a student Quinnite, and then going on to be an alum of the institution. And so I think that's probably my favorite tradition on campus.
Very good. Thanks for sharing. On to our last question. Give an interesting or fun fact about your school.
So something interesting about Missouri Southern is our health science department has a simulation center where we actually have mannequins that you can draw blood from. They show symptoms to medication. It provides a very interactive opportunity for our health science students to be able to work with a patient without working with a human. So it provides a hands-on learning that we really instill in our students, but it's also a really innovative opportunity where students can draw blood from these mannequins. They can give them medications to show symptoms. They can also interact with them in a way that is beyond just talking to a student or drawing blood from a student. I think it's a really cool and unique opportunity that we offer.
All right. For Missouri S&T, I think I'm just going to go with the fact that we're celebrating 150 years as an institution. So it's been a lot of fun to do different events. Unfortunately, more of them have had to be virtual than we would have preferred, but and hear from lots of different alumni as we're celebrating 150 years. One of the alumni just recently also gave us a donation for $300 million. So we've had a lot to celebrate this year.
I think for the University of Arkansas, there's a lot of research that goes on campus. We and undergraduates can also assist with some of that research. So if they're going into medical fields or just in any type of profession, if they're interested in doing research, they have those capabilities. But this area also has the home office of Walmart. So there's a lot of opportunities for students to be able to interact with recruiters because there's 300 of the Fortune 500 offices here in Northwest Arkansas. So they're definitely seeking University of Arkansas graduates, and a lot of money coming in for scholarships and different types of technology that students can utilize in their different majors.
So I'm going to go on more of a facilities side. So we are actually in the process of finishing our first new building in 40 years on campus. So it is a really cool thing to know that a place where when I was a student used to be a place where we used to have barbecues in a parking lot. It's now actually our brand new health and wellness center with a competition gym, a dance studio, all of our athletic offices being housed in one space, as well as a state-of-the-art training facility for all of the athletes on campus, as well as collaborative learning spaces for students. So I think that for me, that is the fun thing that we have going on campus, because like I said, which one time was a parking lot and just a place where we used to all just hang out, it's now an actual building. And so it's funny whenever, we post pictures of what's going on campus construction wise, they're like, oh, I remember that used to be the corner where you would literally turn out, but you had to like really turn sharp so you wouldn't hit the curb when you're coming out of that parking lot. But now it's a whole building. So if you hit the building, we have other problems that we have to discuss. But I think that for Paul Quinn, I think that's probably the most fun thing going on currently on campus, just because we have been virtual since March of last year. And so as students are getting ready to return for the fall semester, they're going to come back to literally a brand new campus when it comes down to it.
Thank you. Very exciting indeed. And with that, we thank all of our presenters for all the great information today. We'd ask that you submit the 4-question survey on the StriveScan website. Also be aware there are more sessions available if you have interest in any other institutions. As noted before, the recording will be made available on strivescan.com/Tennessee. Again, thanks to all of our presenters and hope everyone has a good day. Bye-bye now.